Hey everyone, welcome to Down and Dirty with the Badger State Pullers. Your hosts tonight are Greg Elsing and John Stranley. Jason is not here tonight, but they will be taking it away.
Thanks, Chandler.
No
Hey,
problem.
how you doing?
Good.
Good.
Welcome, everybody. And welcome, the legendary Jack Spots. How are you, Jack?
Hey, I'm doing awesome tonight. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for coming on, Jack.
Thanks for coming on. So, all the folks out there, the fans of Badger State Tractor Pullers, it takes so many people behind the scenes to make the Badger State Tractor Pullers move and work and all the moving parts. Jack Spots is one of the major parts behind the scenes. So, he helps us out organizing the polls. Also, the major thing is our raffle every year. He takes charge of that and does an awesome job.
Thanks, John.
How you doing tonight, Jack? Doing good?
I'm doing really well. We had a wonderful day today here in Illinois, and I am really pleased.
We had a good day in Wisconsin too. The sun was shining. Got a lot of crops harvested. As long as we can keep the parts around, we'll keep moving.
That's the best part, right?
Right.
I'm keeping the part coming in. I'm sure when things break, you're waiting on the old supply chain.
Well, I had a part break in a combine a week ago. There was not one in the United States, and there was one in Canada, and I did get it.
Wow.
So we can keep us going. Yeah. Yep. So I don't know if anybody else breaks that part. They might be up the creek.
So tonight's show, we're talking about the banquet. And as we're getting champions wrapped up, we got one champion left to come on, but working on the raffle. We're talking about the raffle tonight and the Badger State banquet as it's right around the corner, about what, 3 weeks away?
Sounds that way, yeah.
Yes.
Not far away. Kelly's upstairs working on stuff for it right now.
She has a lot of time putting that, her and Amy and Kathy Meyer, and I'm sure I'm missing a few people otherwise in the background as well, too. But a big portion of our show there, too, is something that Badger State has done very well at, is the raffle, and the raffle directly connects us with the American Family Children's Hospital. So introduce yourself, Jack.
Yeah. Thanks, John. It's like I said, when I got the phone call from you yesterday, I told everybody I was pretty excited to get the opportunity to talk to you, everybody, tonight on this channel. So it's such a great organization that Badger State has. The culture of Badger State is just superior over any other organization I've ever been tied with tractor pulling. So I give you a little bit of background about me, and I don't know if a lot of people know this, but and I was kind of shocked when I started looking at pictures and putting things together. But actually, I've been tractor pulling for about 48 years. I started in 1974 with a 8-horse Massey garden tractor, and I pulled that for 2 years, and then I moved up to. I decided to build something, and in 1976, I put a Chaparral liquid cool snowmobile engine into a Cub Cadet frame. And that was really different at the time, to say the least, back in those days. I drove that for 3 years, and then I actually, in 1979, I put 2 snowmobile engines in a rail frame that I built, and I pulled with the Tri-County Tractor Pullers of Whitewater, Wisconsin. And I pulled with them all the way through until 1985. And that's when I hooked up with Mr. Gordy Casper. He was pulling garden tractors at that time. And a few years passed, but it was about 1990, 91. We started to get the Alice, the 190, Zip-de-doo-ah-day. And then we went to the Ford, the 8830, called the Stroker. We won the points championship with that in Badger State in 1998. And then we purchased the next one that Gordy purchased was the John Deere 7600, the Grasshopper, and we won the point champions with that in 2001 and 2002. So, a long journey. It was a lot of fun. We were doing it with uh, 3 tractors at one time. It was quite a challenge to have all 3 tractors in one class, but had a lot of fun. And after, of course, Gordy's passing, and then his son Ed took care of the John Deere and painted it black, called it Addicted to Chaos, and we won the point champion in 2010. Then I decided to retire from that aspect, and then that's kind of when I started to work a little more towards the raffle and do that. Uh, I actually picked up the raffle in 2006, so I've been working on the raffle for about 17 years.
Yep. Have you kept track of how much we've done in the 17 years? I have not, but I know it's quite a bit.
Money wise,
Yeah.
oh, geez, Greg, I really don't know. We started out with, well, actually, Don Salama and Mark Hawthorne started this out in 2004. We sold the tickets for $10 a piece. We were clicking along, probably making anywhere from 28 to 30,000 a year with that. The way we were doing raffle at $10 a piece. Uh, and then in 2006, Mark and Monica invited Brenda and I up to their house, and Mark handed it over and said, "The raffle's yours. I'm going to start having a tractor pull in Moreau at the end of the year, and I'm no longer want to do the raffle." So that's how I got indicted to the raffle. The Hawthorns handed it over.
Yeah.
Um,
The raffle part, yeah. But the first benefit pull was in 98 or 99.
Something like that.
Yeah.
You're correct.
Yep. So, and we switched the $100 tickets. When did we do that?
We did that about, I think about 9 years ago.
Yeah.
We switched it over, and that's when it's been a great hit. And we collect $100,000, and 50 of it we get back in prizes. As of 25,000, 15, and 10, and then the other 50 goes into the pot of Badger State, which the directors can decide what they want to do with the money from there.
Yep.
I remember those days back in the 80s. I used to run around as a kid with J.R. Vinci when we weren't pulling garden tractors with my dad. And now that you explained that tractor you had, I remember you pulling that in the 80s.
Yep.
Yeah, that was quite a deal. I actually got paid to go to polls, believe it or not. They gave me $50, and I would go to polls, and I would collect the 50, and then whatever my prize money I would win, I got to keep that too. So it was really unique to see a snowmobile engine into, especially when it was the rail, and I had 2 of them in there. It was really pretty unique. So a lot of fun when I built that. I actually built that all in the garage with a hacksaw and cut every piece by a hacksaw to make that work. And then went to my buddies to weld it, and then I brought it home, welded, and we cut some more and welded it. It was really kind of unique.
That was a lot of work. Did you use regular snowmobile clutches with it and stuff then, or how'd you?
I did. It was really that really helped me out actually.
Right.
The company that I was trying to think what the company's name was. I sent them pictures, and they were sending me clutches and stuff to use, because they couldn't believe it that they could hold up to that much power and stuff coming out of those on a tractor pull. So I got a lot of sponsor kind of stuff, parts wise, not so much money, but a lot of parts at that time.
Right. Well, snowmobile clutch is a pretty efficient clutch. It's hard to beat.
Oh, they're great.
Yep. I had a buddy that built one here probably 15 years ago, 10 years ago up here, and he had 3 snowmobile motors on it.
Wow.
Yep. And he pulled for a few years, and then he retired out of that. So, yeah.
Truck pulling he did. That thing was pretty wicked too. That thing really run.
Yeah.
Yep.
How did you pull them together, Jack?
Pardon me?
How'd you couple those 2 motors together so they run
Actually,
together?
I had a straight shaft right into. My dad was a machinist, and so he was able to make me some couplers. But actually, I had both drives on one shaft, And so I had to really get the timing of those clutches. So I had the throttles hooked together. So when I pushed down into my throttle, it would bring both of them up at the same RPMs. I had two tacks so I could watch it, and I actually brought them up right together, and they dumped at the same time. So it was pretty amazing how all that worked together. And it was just all the work and efforts to make the timing of it. But I was pretty proud of that thing. I drove it a lot. I was pretty proud.
Do you have it on a shelf somewhere?
I don't, but it is, believe it or not, I sold it to a person in town here, and that person still owns that thing. So
Like, just
I
just for show now?
yeah, he takes it to some car shows and stuff. That's it. Doesn't pull it, but he does have it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yep.
That's
How'd
neat.
the ticket sales go this year, Jack? We're doing pretty
Well,
good.
got some really good news. As of yesterday, I drove halfway up to Wisconsin, and I had a gentleman take the last three books I had. So all the books I have are handed out. That's good news. And we're working on collecting, of course, all the money in. And we are over 50% now of the money turned in. A lot of guys in the field. I text everybody on Saturday and asked them, to remind them to get it in. And I got a lot of nice responses from that. And I'm sure we'll see the rest of it in here in the next week.
Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, it's coming up fast.
Yes, it is.
And it's amazing how many local people win that win it. We pretty much know everybody every time. It's crazy, right?
Yep, it is, and it's fun also to see someone at the banquet win it. It's what a joy! I remember Connor's face last year. That was really a real heart joy to see him win that. So
Right. Right. Yeah. Connor, if anybody knows, Connor's one of our young tech guys, just kind of starting out with his couple of years now. Connor McGowan from Darlington. He won what, $10,000 last year?
I believe that's correct. Yep.
Yep. Yep. It's neat. And Jared Ripp has won it once in a while. Tom Gallitz has won it.
Yep.
That's there. I'm trying to think of all the people, but I'm sure there's more and I can't remember them all. But yeah. But when we go to if you tell people that there is a room at the Children's Hospital in Madison called the Badger State Tractor Pullers Room. And, a year ago, we had one of our pullers families had a child that was they were in the room next to it. Couldn't quite get into the room, that was there, but they didn't try. They didn't know, but they just noticed it when they were leaving that, yeah, the Badger State Tractor Pullers Room is right next to where we were, with,
It's neat. Right on the wall as you walk into the hospital itself. Right on the wall, you see all the people who have donated and given money there, and it's in pretty good sized print. So that's pretty heartwarming to see.
Yep. The other thing we do is we've collected toys, and when the Badger athletes on Fridays push the shopping cart around to give toys to the kids, we have a bunch of toy tractors in there that the kids pick from. Been doing that for like 3 years now, I think, right? I think Richie's Implement, Hennessy, McFarland's, and Hillsborough Equipment went to John Deere, Agco, New Holland, and Case IH, and got, I think they each got us 150 68 scale tractors and anything, farm toys to give to the kids. And they're probably thinking they're going to might need some. They said the one little boy took 6 tractors every time they went through. Yep. But let him have as many as he wants.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a good thing. If you've ever been down there, we used to get to tour it, but since COVID kind of happened here, I don't know. I don't think they still opened it up to where, like, our executive board used to get to go in there and we'd have a meeting there once a year and tour it, but since COVID, it's that we haven't been doing that. So that's pretty neat.
Yeah, it's a real honor to be able to do this, and I know all the money is going the right directions. I think the board makes good decisions. What we do with the extra 50,000 that we usually have, and I think you guys do real well with that. And I think we see the paybacks. If you ever do to go or have a family member that has to go to the Children's Hospital, it's really rewarding to know that you help sponsor that.
Right. I think last year we raised like $97,000, if I remember right. Right? By the time,
I think that is correct. Yes.
yep, and it's amazing how many of the pullers donate their points check even back to the Children's Hospital when they.
Yep.
I know Mike Paulson does, and a few other people have. And how many people just come up and after it and don't really care for recognition and still give you $1,000 check for
Yep.
it, right?
Yep. They
Yep.
come up there or slide it over to me if I sit down, or somehow it gets funneled up there up front. And yeah, it's amazing. You said 97. I think it went over that with the people putting extra money in at the banquet, and it's just amazing to see, you know, how many people open their hearts to something like that. It's great.
Yep.
Great to be a part.
And it's something even at the Calcutta at the benefit poll, you know, we sell the tractors and you know, some people can't get in to buy one, they'll still come up and give you a check and say, hey, I just want to give a check anyways. It's neat. I think, you know, like 2 years ago I was $17,000, I think, just from the
Calcutta.
the Calcutta and Coates, Brandon's brother, Ryan bought the winning tractor and gave it all back to the Children's Hospital.
Yeah.
Good of it.
Done that 2 years in a row.
Yep.
2 years in a row, he's donated that right back. He comes right back up and gives it all back, and it's just amazing. Same thing there too is people donating money too that come up to the announcer stand and write a check and just give it to American Family Children's Hospital that night. It's just amazing.
Right. But when you ask, they gave the story a couple of years ago, and as Travis and Tierney told their story at the benefit poll, and there was 3,500 people there or 4,000 people there, and you could hear a pin drop in there. And I turned around and you see 14, 15-year-old boys in the front row with tears in their eyes. You know, it hit home with everybody.
Exactly.
Yep. That's the hardest part there, and it's the hardest part at our banquet too, is when Lori Schultz comes up there, and she gets up there and has a family either there or has a story and puts it up on the board, and they just tough because there's not a dry eye in the house that night. 450 people or 500 people at our banquet, and they're all in tears. It's just tears of joy that we are a little part that helps, and tears that you know, hopefully something good come out of their story.
Right. And it's hard to turn around from that when they play the video and you turn around and you look at all these big, tough tractor pullers back there and all these 300-pound burly guys got tears in their eyes, and you're supposed to talk then, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's tough.
Jack, how much time do you think you have invested every year in the raffle?
Well, the raffle, there is a lot of time invested. I usually get 1 month off a year, and it's actually after the banquet. But in January, I start, you know, with the raffle number and the state number that Kelly gets me. And once I get that, I start making the tickets, and that Kruger's printing in Wisconsin. There, they have done my printing and my tickets all these years. And I can't say enough for those folks how nice they are, and to get them all done and printed up for me every year. And I always go up and talk to Jim, the owner, and we have a nice cup of coffee and have a nice discussion in Reedsburg. Just wonderful people. And then once I get the printer tickets all printed, I print all the leaflets, and then I start stuffing envelopes for everybody and putting my name on envelopes so I know I can get a mail back. And then the spring banquet comes, or the meeting, and I start handing them out. And then we start going to every pull and make sure every puller gets them and handing them out and selling the tickets. And then it turns around when the pulls are over. And at the end of the year, I collect some money there. And then, of course, a lot of it gets mailed to me. And then I get it all up to Amy, and we got to get it up there before the banquet. So it's almost a full year's job to handle this, and I really enjoy it. I'm glad, I'm honored to be able to do it for this organization. So,
And it is so organized, Jack. You've got it so organized. It's crazy. I'm glad you're doing it, not me, because I'm not that organized.
Yeah. It,
Yeah.
yeah,
For that.
I literally met so many nice people. I get so many nice compliments of thanks for doing it, texts and stuff and emails. I mean, everybody really is super nice about doing it, and it makes it all work, and it makes it very enjoyable. I guess if I didn't like it, 17 years of it is a long time to kind of handle it.
It is. It is. But like you've said, the guys, the people in our club, just they all want to do it. It's because we ask every class every year, hey, this is something you don't have to do. If you want to do it, do it. If not, it's fine. But every one of them jumps on board. So
Yep, I totally agree, and I think it's been a great thing. I give a lot of credit to Don Salama and Mark Hawthorne way back in 2004, and thought of a way to generate some dollars like this for a good cause. I give a lot of credit to them, and then handing it over and let me run with it. Ever since then, it's been a real honor.
yep. And we used to have a lot of prizes people give us too. Right?
Yes, uh, that
Whole
was.
thing was printed with prizes.
Yeah, those were the fun days. I had to collect all the prizes and deliver all the prizes on top of that. So then it ended up being a 12-month deal where now we hand out the checks through our accounting firm, and it works out much better.
Yep. Yep. And
it's a lot less announcing too.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Pretty awesome. Just so the fans know here that are watching our raffle, there's 3 prizes. It's 25,000 first prize, 15,000 second place prize, and 10,000 for third prize. And there's only 1,000 tickets sold every year.
yep. And then when we donate the money to the children's hospital, there, you can say where you want it to go. But they have one of their categories is the greatest needs. Well, you might as well give it to the greatest needs, because some people donate to a cancer fund because maybe their child or somebody in their family had cancer and they want specifically to cancer. But we did the greatest. One year, we bought an incubator. I know that Lori told us there, and that was pretty neat. And it's got in the incubator where all the babies are. It's got the Badger State Tractor Pullers incubator too. So it's pretty neat to see that stuff when you go in there, right?
Yeah, that, like I said, that's the honor of doing this, because I have my brother's boy has a little boy that has problems, and it's up there all the time every month. So when you have a family member and someone, it really makes a difference. It makes it all worth it, and I think all the guys understand that, and I really think, and gals also, that we got pulling. I think that's what drives us and keeps it going.
Yep. Everybody knows somebody that's been there. It's great.
Right.
Yep.
Yes. Yes. Then the families that have come to the benefit pool that have benefited from the American Family Children's Hospital, and we sign shirts and autographs, and the kids have a great time. And this year we had a family there as well, and they come to the pits after we got done, and they sat in my tractor and took pictures, and we chatted quick before I went back up there. But just the smiles on their face, enjoy the evening, and be able to tell their story is amazing.
Yep. So, anything else like to change next year on it? I don't think there is. Right? It's
No.
you have extra tickets. Usually, all you do is have to make a couple phone calls and they're gone. Right?
Right. Yeah, and even today, if somebody really needs, I know there's a few people that still are struggling to sell some of their tickets. If somebody needs, all you got to do is contact me. We do juggle tickets back and forth from one party to another and make sure they all get sold, because that's the key, is get all of them sold. And because I hit the 100% is my goal every year, and we've been able to do that last couple of years. So I'm really excited if we can do it again this year, and I think we will. At least they're out there, and that's an important thing.
Right. And I'm hoping we hit our $100,000 this year. We have never done that, and I want to hit it.
No. Yep.
We're so close.
Yep.
I think we can do it this year. We had a pretty good season. I think everything will work out for it. But the benefit pool was a little rainy this year. That kind of might hurt us a little bit, I guess, but we'll see, right?
Yep.
Yep. Next year, you said you'll start And Kelly, I'm sure right after first year, will be applying for the license unless she already has.
Yeah. Usually we can't apply until December. I send her an email, and we have to give all the numbers, how much we hand out, and all the specifications to make the raffle according to the Wisconsin raffle law. So after the banquet, I give that off to Kelly, and Kelly right away gets me the number back to me so I can order the tickets in January.
Yep. We only had 1 year we had a hiccup with it, right? When the IRS, we have to pay tax on that money we give
That's
them.
right.
Everybody, we didn't do it for 5 years. And they went back. 1 year we couldn't donate the money because we had to use it to pay the taxes, right?
Right. Yes, and that's why we go through the accounting firm now. And ever since we did the $100 deal, we go through the accounting firm, and they take the taxes out of what you get. So all that's taken out prior, and it makes it a lot easier for all of us, and then we won't be in trouble again.
Right. We don't like to get in trouble because
Nope.
I'd argue with them until they were asking me about my personal taxes. I said, all right, I'm done arguing with this. Jack, tell everybody what you do for a living.
Well, I've been retired. I worked at General Mills for 20 or 39 years at the Belvedere plant here in quality as a manager, and then I've been retired for 8 years, and I'm a food consultant. I work for 2 food companies, buying all their vegetables, frozen vegetables for the 2, and so pretty busy for a retired guy. I'm still working about 8 hours out of my home, and but I do enjoy it, and uh, I'm really lucky to be able to do that, and still contribute yet, and not just kind of sit back and rest.
What would you do if you weren't working?
What would I do if I wasn't working? Well, I have 4 wonderful grandchildren that does keep me pretty busy. The only trouble is they're getting 14. Got 2 of them at 14, and one at 12, and one at 8, and they're growing up on us, Greg. And so, right now we're in a lot of sports. So we have baseball, volleyball, softball, football, soccer. So we're really, really busy chasing down the grandkids all the time. So I would just be watching the grandkids.
Right. You don't want to miss that stuff.
No.
That's important. That's more important than tractor pulling. I can tell you that.
Yeah, it's the only reason I don't come to a poll is because of the grandkids got an activity.
Right. I coached the sports, and I thought that was the best thing I ever did.
Yep.
Yep.
It's kind of funny. I didn't realize it's been 48 years I've been doing something with tractor pulling until I looked at it today. So, uh, John asking me made me do a little bit of homework here, and I sat back and said, "Boy, this is amazing." That my daughter and even my stepdaughter, they always come to the polls and when they can. And now the grandgirls, two grandchild girls, they love tractor pulling, so they come more than the boys do. But
Good.
so I'm trying to make sure the family keeps on rolling here with this.
Right. I see Lon Strike from Colby just put on there. He's looking for a ticket. If anybody's got one, can contact him. I'm sure he said he'd buy one. Rolled
Yeah.
across
Yep.
there. Yep.
Yep. Lonnie Ostrike. Also, Adam Stevens put that on there a few minutes ago too.
Good.
There he is. But he'll take a ticket.
Anybody know those guys close? They'll take tickets if you have any left.
Yeah. I know Randy Baraboo's got some left yet. I talked to him for a couple hours on Saturday. He's got a couple tickets left. So if we can get these guys' names or get them the contact and get with Randy. Randy, I know he's got a few tickets left.
Right. Right. Who else is? I always have to take a few down. The Lucas Oil banquet is like 10 days from now, and I always have to go to that. And there's always guys. I have tickets saved for that down there.
Okay.
So if I have any extra, I'll bring them back. But I can get rid of them down there pretty easy.
Yep.
So that's something we could talk about that a little bit too, huh? Going to the PPL banquet, what happens there? I guess we go down there. Punky and I are flying out. I shouldn't say Punky. Nick Score and I are flying out Thursday night, and the meetings start Friday morning at 8:00. And at every hour, there's a class meeting for every class, and they want to go over how the year went and how any rule changes that they think they need to implement or anything like that. And then they have general membership meetings, and they have they have meetings with the promoters, you know, and they have sponsor meetings, and it's a pretty organized thing and a pretty big deal down there too. It's pretty neat. It used to be in Indianapolis, now it's in Louisville, but we learn a lot down there, and then they have state level meetings where we get to sit and talk with other state representatives on what they do, and they're always asking about our benefits. How do you get the pullers to do that? And one lady told me, well, we could never get our pullers to do that. And I said, all we do is ask, and they do it, right, Jack?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yep.
they're amazing. You know, a lot of people are amazed at how we do it, but it's just it's the culture we've raised there, and it's just what we do. You know.
Yep. As I always told you, Greg, the biggest thing Badgers got is our culture, and that's the one thing we cannot change by any means, because you know everybody goes out and competes against everybody, but also everybody would help anybody if they needed a hand. And what a culture that is in tractor pulling is just outstanding.
We've always said you want to beat them on the track, not in the pits.
Exactly.
Right. So it's amazing how when something goes wrong, you've got 5 guys there. Hey, I've got this, we can make it work, you know, or I've got this, we can make that work, you know, and everybody does that for everybody. It's fun.
Yep.
Time and time again.
Yep.
Just so the fans know that pull, like you were talking about, Greg, just to give them a little more insight on it, that pull, the pullers don't pay entry fee. They don't get prize money. It's everything's donated. Everybody that's working there is donating their time. The pullers are donating your time, and you know, if you break something that night, you break something that night. But it is a points hook, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Points hook. So your class, you know, is represented, and everybody's there, and it's just like you said, it's great how many people that they're all in. Everybody's in, and then you know, all the food and everything sold. You know, all the bills get paid, and what's left over goes to the American family.
Yep. About, I don't know, it's probably 15 years ago, Brinkmeyer wrecked his motor at the benefit pull. And I went up to him and said, Gary, I'm so sorry you did this here where there's no prize money. I'm just sorry about it. He said, Greg, if I was ever going to break it anywhere, this is my favorite place. He said he'd never miss it. I thought that was pretty. Gary's a upstanding guy. He's a great guy.
Yep. Absolutely. Their family sells a lot of tickets too. They don't take just one book. They take like 10, 11 books. They're giving a run for the front runner this year. I started looking at some of that. So the Brinkmeyer family has really done a great job of selling a lot of extra tickets for us.
Do you know what else you do? Tell everybody else what we do too. We collect beer tabs, top tabs for the Ronald McDonald House. And the Brinkmeyer family has 2 55-gallon drums of them. I've seen them myself, and they said, and the third one, I said, you got some thirsty boys.
Didn't we figure it out last year? It was over $1 million in beer had to be bought for all those tabs or something.
When we weighed it and counted how many pound, it was $1.2 million worth of beer the tabs that we turned into the Ronald McDonald House. So that's a fun thing. We got it all done. You know, we gave $500 worth of beer away, and everybody talked about how much the beer tabs were worth. A beer tab is worth more than a candle. Mike Paulson and I went to turn the beer tabs in, and it was $187. So we, typical farmer turning $500 into $187. But it's fun, and everybody enjoys doing it. So
Exactly.
Wisconsin Distributing donated the beer anyway, so it is what it is, right?
Yep.
But that's another fun thing we do. And then I was standing in the pits one night after the pull, and Jared Fredericks handed me a beer. And as he handed it to me, he took the tab off and he said, "You're not getting that too."
True grit. They don't mess around. You know?
No.
Right.
Got going on here, Greg.
Yep. So anybody else got any stories like that? Send us in, or, you know, what you've done, or if you've had kids at the Children's Hospital, please let us know, and you know, we can talk about it on the air here. We're, you know, so we have something to talk about. So it was it's a good thing. The pull next year will be at Baraboo. We should talk about. We used to have it in Sauk, and we knew we had outgrown the pull, and I was really hesitant about moving it because Kelly and I did all the work, and I didn't really want to move it to Baraboo, make it farther away. But during COVID, we couldn't do it in town here. the school's grounds, which we use there. But we could do it up the Baraboo because it was private grounds, and we did it. And between the Deppie family and Randy Brew and all the Fair Board, the Sauk County Fair Board, that thing went smooth as silk. And it's never leaving there. It's never come. It's going to stay there just because of the help we have and how good it went and how good the facility is. And I think I'm sure everybody else agrees with that too. I know they do.
Yep.
Because we used to only be able to pull half of our classes. Every other year you got to pull. And up there we run 2 tracks now, and last year was voted our favorite pull of the year. So let's hope it gets good votes again this year. And
The tracks side and the pits are overflowing, and good weather, the grandstands are overflowing. And
Yeah.
I'd also like that. That's one of my favorite pulling tracks to pull on too.
Right. I think you went road, didn't you, John? I should have mentioned the Tri-County Pullers coming up and support it too and donate their time and hooks too.
Yep. So, Tri-County Mini Rods come up, and our open class comes up, and we enjoy coming to that event every year. So it's that one's a lot of fun. I don't know. I just got the lucky Randy Brew horseshoe ride with me in there or something when I'm up there or something. But I've had pretty good luck up there. It's just one of them tracks that you just good at, I don't know, lucky or something.
You got something out there. You got to tell me what to do there, John. Right?
Last time I told you what to do, you went to the other side of the track, and it was my fault.
What's that?
The last time I said that, you ended up on the other side of the track, and it was my fault.
Well, you gave me bad advice.
Oh.
I want the good advice.
Oh.
I took free advice. I probably have to pay for some, right?
Yeah, it was free. What did you expect? I mean, you had a good hole shot right where we put you.
Yeah.
Look good for 50 feet.
Yep. Yeah, you'll have that.
You will. But I don't know what else you got on your mind today, John?
Well, I know Ross loves the ice cream up there. That's one of his favorite places to eat ice cream now is the Children's Hospital pull up there.
Yep. Sassy Cow helps us out with that. Out of over by DeForest there. That's my favorite ice cream too. Cow pie. My son's girlfriend Emily used to work there, and she asked me about quart jugs of cow pie, and I said, no, don't they have like a 5-gallon bucket of it? It took me a long time. I think I gained a few pounds with it, but if you get a chance to get cow pie from Sassy Cow, that's the best. But all their ice, but that's my favorite. Then we donate beef for it, and Cook's Countryside Trucking donates cheese for the cheeseburgers. I mean, a lot of stuff is donated there. And Adam Adrian Bloomington Meats, they donated the processing for the animal, that we donated. So everything gets donated. It's amazing. And Wisconsin Distributing gives us a great deal and supports us a lot up there with the Budweiser and stuff like that.
So many layers and so many people involved that it's just to make that all click. If someone comes to watch that night, hope a lot of them are watching this just to kind of get that insight of what it takes to put that event together, let alone other events, but especially that event.
And I think this fall, Luther Farms and Deppie Enterprises, I think they got like 30 or 40 loads of clay hauled in there. I'm not sure. They were going to do it, and I think they did it, but some clean clay and put in there for the next year and then make it even a better track. Because it is a good track, when they put it together. And I know Randy's not watching us on his flip phone, so I can give him credit for that, but I would never say it to his face.
Well,
the romance is still going on.
Right. That's a lot of fun up there. And Scott Zerzo and the Fair Board there, they fix the bleachers up and they help with everything. And we've got the Tri-County four-wheeler club. There's not Tri-County. I forget what they're calling themselves. Four-wheeler club up there helps us with the parking. It helps us serve food. And they made a donation last year. We gave them $1,000 for helping, and they gave us $3,000 back for the Children's Hospital. That's a good trade.
That's a good trade. That's amazing.
Yep.
Hey.
Yep. Yeah. So, yeah. Trying to think, Mike Everson is Middleton Machine is a big sponsor. Hennessy Implement. I'm trying to think of them all. I should have wrote it down here, but I did not, and I'm sorry about that. But
Need to get a copy of my announcer book. It's got
right,
all that.
right, yep, yep. And Triangle Tool is a big sponsor. Luther Farms, a lot of them. There's a lot of them out there. PPE. Ron Mack is a professional pest, and he had a stroke here a couple months ago, and they're having a benefit for him Sunday. He's still kicking, but he's working his way back. So,
Good to hear.
yep.
Open.
If you guys can think of any other sponsors, I know I'm missing some, and I hate that, but it is what it is, right?
It's tough. Yeah.
'Cause-
Maybe, yeah. Should have Kelly email me those 2 pages, or send me a couple of pictures of those 2 pages so we can get them in on a couple of our shows here too, to help out some of the sponsors that help us out through that whole time.
right.
Jack, when you draw those tickets in there, is there a seance you have, a little om going on and spinning, and who do you pick to draw them out of there? It's usually Lori, isn't it?
It's always Lori. Lori's always helped me do that, and I think she really likes it, and I think it's really a contributor to what the American Family Hospital does, throughout the year for all the kids, and I think it's an honor to have Lori take care of that and draw those tickets. Um, the look on her face when she hears who it is, because she knows a lot of people, and I think she really enjoys it, and I look forward to seeing Lori every year at the banquet to do that.
Right.
It's kind of fun. Just so you guys know, I got 1,000 ticket stubs, and me and Brenda, we lay them all out on a table in piles of 5, and then we take 1 ticket from each pile, and we mix that all up into a bucket, and then we take that and put it into the blender thing that we have where the tickets go, and then we take another group of 5, because a lot of guys buy all 5 tickets, so we don't want to throw all 5 names in one group, right? So we're trying to this affair goes on about 3 hours before we get all the tickets, 1,000 tickets mixed up really well, we feel, into that thing. And I can honestly say we've been so fortunate over the years. We haven't had too many duplicate 3 tickets pulled out of the thing. So Lori does super good job of doing that.
Right. And you always draw the big winner out first and set it to the side.
That's correct. And then we announce that. Yeah.
Why don't you tell people what Lori's position is with the Children's Hospital so everybody knows her?
I believe, isn't she the administrator of
Or like an events coordinator or something?
coordinator or whatever of that? Yeah, I mean she comes to a lot of our polls when she's available.
Yep.
And it's really nice that when she comes to the, of course, American Family Hospital event that we have, the first poll of the year, and she's always there to help and talk to people. And Lori's definitely a people person, and she really fits the job she does up there at the American Family Hospital.
Yep. I have to let everybody know when she got that job, it came down to her and my sister. And my sister was managing the Special Olympics thing at the time and
Oh,
beat her out for the job, which is fine. Joe
yep.
went on and did other things too, but
Yeah.
it was right down to them two.
I didn't know that.
That's what it is, right?
Right.
Yeah, but
Oh, wow.
Lori, they both would have done a great job at it. But Lori's great. I love her.
Yes. Yep, I do too.
Yeah, she's a lot of fun. A lot of fun at the banquet too.
Yes, I usually get to sit by her, so that even makes it more fun. So we have a good time at the banquet.
Right.
We're at the golden table, Jack.
That's right. You're right, John. You're absolutely right.
I'm not at that table very long, so maybe that's why it's golden.
A lot of fun. especially I think there'll be people this year. I know I sold some tickets to some people, and they said that they were definitely first time they were going to come to the banquet. So I think we're going to see with this broadcast, I think we're going to see more people come to our banquet this year for the first time.
Well, I hope so. The banquet gets bigger every year, and everybody's welcome to come. I mean, anybody can come to it. Just gotta get a hold of a puller and something, and then get you a meal ticket or in whatever you fill out to go. You
Right.
know, name in, and away we go. But I think we had 425 or 430 people as our largest yet, and that's how many people they have at the PPL banquet too. So we're rivaling the national events, with the events. I'm gonna tell you, ours is a lot more fun.
I'll take your word for that, Greg.
It is, trust me. Right, they've got to honor so many people. It just drags on a long time. We're always trying to get done so we can watch the Badgers play in the Big Ten championship, but I don't think that's going to happen this year.
Yep.
Good. Probably going to be Illinois, Jack. We got to watch that.
Yes, that would be an honor. I've never seen Illinois be on the big screen in my life at the Badger State banquet.
That's a one and only time. Don't get used to it. That'll be
Kelly,
Illinois and Ohio State, and Ohio State will crush them just like they do everybody.
Yes, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I hope John Mears isn't listening. He's a graduate from Ohio State. He always get, and I went to Wisconsin, so he's always, what's the best thing to come out of Ohio State? The guy that transferred from Ohio State to Wisconsin. One of our jokes, yeah. But you can't joke with all the guys in this sport. You're in the wrong sport, and you don't ever take anything serious from anybody because you know what it is. It's all sarcasm, and it's a lot of fun.
Absolutely, it's a wonderful group of people.
Yep.
poor Carl last year.
What's that?
Poor Carl last year. He got initiated pretty quick.
Yeah, he did. Then he worked on his speech for 8 hours, got up in front of everybody, and on his drive up here, and then forgot everything.
Yep, forgot it all. Poor guy. Even Lori, she says, "Well, I can't do worse than Carl." So poor guy. Nobody's known him more than 5 minutes, and they're just picking on him.
I was picking him on him at the PPL banquet last year. He wore a suit that he looked like a matador fighting a bull, a matador's outfit. And I said, bullfighting is the next one. This is tractor pulling. He's a good kid.
Yeah.
He's a good kid. They, John and Christy and Carl, they run a pretty good ship for us. I'm glad we're part of their organization. It does make us better, I believe, so. Some people, think we could stand on our own, but I truly believe we're better with them.
A lot of outlets there, so very good.
Yep. So next week, I'm going to try and line up Fair Valley Performance for our show, and I'm going to go down there and do the show from there. I don't know if John, if you can come there too or not, or what do you think?
We'll have to talk and see how things look. Might be able to do that.
Right. And I was at Robbie Lemke's on Sunday or Saturday, and we're going to do a show there, and we're going to do one at Wildman Shop. We're going to do a show with Craig and the Claus tractor. Everybody's interested in that, and that was a creation between Robbie and Craig Wildman. So we're gonna get those two guys together with it and have a show.
Oh, that's great.
And I think. I'm always interested to see other people's shops and how they work and, where they put out. And I don't want to do a show like PPL did a few years ago when they did it at Harry Bledsoe's corn crib where he worked on his tractor, right. But that was interesting too. It was, I guess. But we want to see some shops from people and I'm planning on doing a little drone video. I want to get to people's farms or shops where we do. We're going to do a little drone video to open up the show so you can show everybody can show their operation and everybody can get to know all the competitors. I don't know how many I'd be interested in. Hope everybody else is.
Yes, I think so far seems like a lot of people are really interested in that. And I think getting to the root and where everybody, you know, where they work and who they are, and like Jack tonight, having Jack Spots on here, you know, who helps out that does all this stuff. And you know, we're all one big family. It's just we got to get all the brothers and sisters lined up so people can see them.
Right.
I totally agree. And one of the other things that we do at the banquet is the Badger State Hall of Fame. I sit on that committee since the beginning with Gary Scott and Bill Smith and Dennis Fry. I think that's one of the greatest honors in that it gets done in Badger State. I can remember Dwayne Hook when we told him that he was nominated to be in the Hall of Fame, and he literally stopped his combine and tears down his eyes. You could hear it on the phone. I mean, those are big honors to be in this Hall of Fame, and I get a good, I've been very lucky to be one of the chosen people to help pick that group of individuals to get honored as our Hall of Famers. So I think that's another big attribute. If you're coming to our banquet, you'll be able to see that and some of the history that goes along with Badger State and who brought us from the beginning up is really interesting.
Yep. It is. And how much it's grown in the last 50 years, it's
Oh,
great.
yeah, big time, Greg. Big time.
I remember when we started, they had five events a year. Now we turned down 25.
Yeah.
You can't do them all. I know a lot of people want to hire, so there's just not enough weekends in the year.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's fun to talk to everybody. The fair convention comes up in January too, and that's where we sign most of our stuff. And if ever you know that the fair convention, Wisconsin, is where all the counties go there, and you meet at Chula Vista and the Dells, and you they sign all their entertainment for that year's fair there. So, and we started out doing it in Milwaukee, went to Green Bay, and then here, so we like it in the Dells, and I like it in the Dells, only 20 minutes away. That's a lot easier. Yeah,
I think it's really good for our families too. It gives them a place to go to bring the whole family. And people go swimming and doing things. It really works well. I know we bring our grandkids up there and stuff, and it's a family event. It's not just the banquet; it's a family event again.
right. And like getting a room, we could only get so many rooms this year because it's under construction, and everybody wants to get there. Them rooms went like the first weekend, I believe. Our block of rooms was gone. But I think everybody got one. I haven't heard many people that wanted one couldn't get one. They can go out into the general rooms and get them, but not probably where we are at in the convention. But so everybody will be there. Might have to walk further. It's a big place.
It's a big place.
Yep. So I guess we're coming to the end of our time here.
Well, I want to thank you guys for the invite. It was really nice being on this, and I hope everybody enjoys our hour-long session we had tonight. I did. So thank you very much.
Yep. Thanks for coming on, Jack. We got on there a little bit ago. Pat Hack wanted to know what Stranley had lined up for a costume for announcing at the banquet this year.
Oh, we're stewing in the backside there, and we can't tell. It's always a secret. It may not be anything, but
I hope it's not. I don't want you to come out here wearing nothing.
Well, we'll be clothed. It will be PG-13 for sure. Absolutely.
All right.
We got to get you involved this year.
You make what?
We got to get you involved this year, I think.
Yeah, I could just wear. I'm in my pajamas right now. I just got home. I was putting brakes in the truck about 20 minutes before this started. But still got grease and anti-seize on my elbow.
No, thanks, Jack. It was great having you on, and we can't thank you enough for what you do for Badger State. And it's great, always great talking with you. And times come down and have breakfast, giving tickets back to you. It's wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yep, Jack, you are a big piece of our organization, and thank you for doing everything you do.
You guys are very welcome.
Thanks, and thanks for coming on.
Yep. Have a great evening.
Yep. We'll see you guys later. I don't have much more. John, do you?
I do not. So, thanks. I know just one quick thing. I think Kathy Meyer sent the thing out, and it's my wife's 40th birthday this Thursday. So there's a bunch of people that sent cards and gifts to her, and we can't thank the Badger State family enough for everybody thinking of us all the time. So happy birthday to my wife. Happy 40th.
Happy birthday. Hopefully she's watching.
I don't know. I'll find out in a minute. So thanks, guys. And Chandler, I guess you can take her away. We'll see everybody next week.
All right, I'm gonna play a little bit more video, and then we'll see you guys later. Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yep.
Bye.
See you guys.
See ya.